Okay. Oof. Now it's choppy for me. Oof. It's like 20 frames. Jeez. Yeah. For me, the frame rate is terrible. Wow. It's like a slideshow. What do you mean? No. Yeah. Yeah. It's really easy. It's really easy export from Twitch to YouTube as well. Like we should encourage this guy to just do that. It makes it. Yeah. It just makes it a lot easier though. Like it doesn't mean you got to delete your videos on Twitch. You know, it's like yeah, it's still pretty bad. But let's just deal with this. It's good enough. All right, so here's where like I want to talk about the first sort of mistake. Just a few seconds from here. So like let it go for another 5 seconds. It's right here. So he decides he wants to go on the left flank. And yeah, I know like there's no communication and all that kind of stuff, but I think that makes it even more important that you just like keep tabs on what your team is doing. And even I knew before I even saw what happened later on. His team is pushing right now down the center, and he's just kind of like leaving them in like a team of five to go on a mad flank. And not only do I find this annoying, I think it's a really bad strategic move. There are much better flanks that he can take that can keep him synced up with his team uh, and and able to support them. The position where he pops out, not only does he leave his team for like quite a few crucial seconds, but he doesn't really even get that great an angle, right? Uh, yeah, and the pathing is very suboptimal. Yeah, like going up on top of the windmill, like that would have been a much better place for him to go, considering where his team is going, or even just staying behind the Reinhardt. No, I don't even think going on the left roof because like where his team ends up, yeah, staying on the left, he has a really bad angle. In my opinion, he should either be behind his Reinhardt or on top of the windmill. So yeah, yeah, I think yeah, yeah, mm, yeah. He's yeah. I think that is what he's doing, but yeah, like I mean, I have noticed that he's not really placing his crosshair for like tracking, and that is something that he probably should work on a little bit, especially if he's going to be playing a lot of hit scan. Yeah. So like, yeah. Look at this. Pause. Look, pause. Like, look at this. They killed two of his teammates, and all he was doing was checking an angle that was completely useless to them. Right. So completely just proved my point of his positioning here was very poorly chosen. He needs to work around his team. He's still got to take. Maybe. Yeah, exactly. But you have to adjust your posture for what the rest of your team is doing. All right. Like if they're jumping off a cliff, doesn't matter if you think it's stupid. You go jump off the cliff with them. Otherwise, you're just going to lose. And 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 exactly what usually happens in that case is what happened. Two of his teammates got picked, and he was nowhere near to support them. Maybe he could have prevented that from happening. Maybe he could even the odds. Like, who knows? We'll never know because he just wasn't there. Right? He was in nowhere of a position where he could have supported them. So I really think that that was a big mistake. Like, I know you think, it's kind of bad. Maybe for a Zenyatta, not a DPS. DPS, you got to be a lot more assertive. You got to be laying down a lot more damage to create space for the rest of your team. Like, exactly, yeah. You got to be almost constantly dealing damage or threatening to deal damage. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I I would sort of take it from a different perspective, right? And this is where I really wish we had Q.GG because I want to draw something. Yeah. But like, I think like he would have done much better if he just followed his Reinhardt. Like, just like that would have been just like, just take a look. Where's the Reinhardt going? What is he doing? Oh, he's going down the center. Well, like let's play around that, right? So like, yeah, you'll see here. You see here, like here's he sees his Reinhardt there on the left, and then immediately, yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like he doesn't necessarily have to be right behind them, but he has to play around that in the most optional fashion that he can with the hero he's playing, right? And because it's Ash, it means he has to be looking for the angles where he's shooting past his Reinhardt and into the enemy team. All right. So, yeah. 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 I think she's on the right. Yeah. Yeah. It's just fast. Yeah. But yeah, you see the Reaper going through the windmill. Yeah. Yeah. You can scout from the other side. Like she can get up on top of the windmill and she can get full vision on the area on the left. She did not have to go onto the left. No, no, that's still too passive in my opinion. In my opinion, yeah, yeah, either on the high ground or behind the Reinhardt shield. I would say ideally up on top of the windmill. Well, no, no, sort of like going over platform. See, I really wish I could fucking draw here because it, yeah, yeah, and sort of using the tall part of the windmill as cover to sort of peek behind. Yeah, 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 and then just shooting down into the long part. Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that's the best spot because, it looks like the enemy team is coming from that direction. The Reinhardt is pushing into that direction to your his teammates just got killed from that direction. Like that. That's where I really think he should have been putting his damage. Yeah. No, that's not storm armor. Those are regular shots. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. 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 Yeah. Well, he just lost his main healer, and like I don't know where the other healer went. You know. Yeah. So the Ryan's our his Ryan got fucked, but like he kind of contributed in fucking his Ryan by not being there at the critical moment. Like yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think in even in this situation, considering they have a McCree and a Hanzo, he should be like in full reset. Yeah, I think when you lose your Reaper and your oh yeah, that's true. So die on point. Yep. I don't think they have a Reaper. I think they have a McCree and a Hanzo. A Hanzo. Yeah. Yeah. That was some really rough aim. And he was rushing his shots there. He's probably a little panicked because the fight fell apart so quickly. That's not too bad. Yeah. He missed a shot on the dynamite. He's taking damage. He's discorded. His Zarya is going YOLO on the point, trying to hold down the point, and he decides to not support his Zarya, just like he left the rest of his team. Like Zarya is on point, you gotta support the Zarya. Although Zarya kind of went over to the right, but yeah, mm, yeah, yeah. But I'm seeing a pattern here of like not he's not supporting his team. He's trying. It looks like he's trying to make hero plays, or he's only thinking, yeah, 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 yeah. Have the capture, yeah, yeah. Like honestly, I think his positioning and his positioning is a bigger issue than his aim. So yeah, yeah. Why did he use that? Uh, So he had the right idea. He just used it too early. Well, you have to know that they're there, right? That's a sure thing. It's a 10-second cooldown. If like you have to be certain you're gonna hit that. It does work around corners, but again, yeah, it looks like he misjudged the range on the flashbang there. See, I saw someone up on the right there. I don't know who's up on the right. Yeah, it looks like he didn't throw it far enough. So he missed. It seems like he doesn't really know the full range of the flashbang there. But like, um, so like that's something that'll come with. Yeah, there is someone up there on the right. Yeah, yeah. So he's got to. Yeah, he's got to be a little more conservative with his cooldowns. You can't just. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the Zarya is up on the right. Yeah. Um, that Zarya could probably just kill him right now, though, if the Hanzo doesn't. But yep, yeah, 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 yeah. It's like as soon as yeah, as soon as you flub your flashbang, you should be pulling out. Yeah, yeah. He just lost. He just lost his Moira and his Reaper again. So like this is a lost fight already. Yeah, 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 yeah. It looks like a storm arrow to me. That's weird. It looks like a storm arrow to me. Yeah. No, all arrows stick, but like storm arrows, storm arrows are like colored. So like this to me is like full reset land because you lost two again. You don't have the point. You're just feeding. Yeah, doing that sort of thing without a flashbang. Oof. Like, how do you know? How do you even know that the Roadhog doesn't have his hook? And didn't, even if he didn't have his hook, like what are you trying to accomplish there? Yeah, no, taking a lot of damage. I don't know why he popped out in the manner he did. Like he should have been falling back as soon as he lost the Moira and the Reaper. This kind of see like this is trying to make a hero play. Like that shit just doesn't work. So like there's four people there. So he kills one of them, then they turn around and kill him. It's like mm, yeah, yeah, yeah. He seems to be favoring the hit scans, and like if he wants to favor the hit scans, he does have to work on his mechanics a lot. That should be one of his main focuses is just Like how often, how well can you hit a shot? Oh, feels bad, man. I had the feeling someone was behind him. Like and like and like you say, you think it's a macro thing. I think that's a micro thing that he's engaging when it's a lost fight. I think that's a bad micro decision, a bad personal decision. He should be in reset land, right? It's like there's two states to Overwatch. It's grouping up and group up and team fight, right? If you don't have six people, it's not a team fight. You should be grouping up. Yeah, yeah. But like, I mean, if he's listening to music, it's not like he's really even trying to fix that, right? You know? Yeah, yeah. For faults of a roadhog. Yeah, yeah. He's dumping a lot of all charge. He just changed two heroes. He's dumped a lot of all charge. Yeah, yeah. Probably start on Reinhardt. Yeah. So everyone's yeah. No. To, yeah. Yeah. It's not terrible. Um, in fact, but you have to have mechanics, right? Like Genji has unique mechanics, and if you don't have those mechanics, you'll struggle to get value with them. That yeah, his projectile, the use of his deflect, when to go in and use his his dash. Why does that keep happening? That is so annoying. Yeah, I think we're still a bit behind where we were. It's like it's not necessarily about like the the thing is, but the thing I would criticize most about swapping to the Genji is like Genji has a lot of value in his kit in his ultimate, and it's like you're already they have 83%. What are the chances you're going to get your Dragon Blade before they finish capping the point? So like you did the swap to Genji. I'm not sure why. It's like if you wanted to get a flanker who could get to the point faster, if that's what you were looking for, like Sombra and Tracer are better picks. And both those picks you could build up an ultimate more easily, and it's a lot easier to use than Genji. Like right now, like getting value out of a Dragon Blade, you kind of need your team to play together, but right now you're trickling and scattered. So like, but like draw them back. Yeah, yeah. I think I think Tracer would have been a better pick though. Um, I'm not sure why he went to Genji. Yeah. It does. It does. And animation cancel. Yeah. 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 You need like split second reaction time. Yeah. Well, Erlog doesn't have to do all that much. They're at what, 93%. Yeah. Yeah. And even then, like that's trickle fight territory. That's not full team fight territory. Yeah, I think we know what's gonna happen here, though. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, it's probably the easiest tank to play around too. Like I mean, very few of those heroes actually synergize with Orisa, but like in gold, is that really gonna matter? Um, yeah, yeah. The Torb is kind of like the only thing that really synergizes with the Orisa. But I mean, like this is a common gold problem. Like they just don't know how heroes fit together, right? It's not something you start to see until high plat. The idea that some heroes play together better than others. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, he got a good suck there. He just sucked both their tanks off the edge. Yeah. Um. hmm, yeah. So I yeah, and at this point, it's like yeah, maybe what they're doing is dumb, but he should go be dumb with them, right? You know. Yeah. It's yeah. See, if that were me, I would have gotten on the comms and say, "Hey, we got to go help our Zen." You know, like let's go help our Zen. Let's go up there and help our get some frags with our Zen. You know, that sort of thing, right? Because like playing with the team is more important than playing the smart move. He might be thinking right now, well, no, I got to hold down the point. I got to play on the point. That's what tanks do. And you may be right. Yeah. Like you may be right, but it's like if they slowly pick off all of those overextended teammates up there and you're just sitting on the point, it's like you're going to lose anyways, right? You might as well go you might as well go up there and like make a good team fight out of it with those people who are overextending up there, right? And this is kind of a pattern that I've seen with him. He's very, very, very conservative with his positioning. He's taking very, very safe positions, um, and sort of ignoring the position that the rest of his team is taking. Um, and he may be thinking, well, uh, I mean, I've heard some coaches say this, and I agree with this. With this is like, doesn't matter if the play is bad. What matters most is that you do it together, right? So in a vacuum, he should just in a vacuum he should be looking at what his team is doing collectively and trying to play around that as best as he can. Playing way back is not playing around it. Not unless he's like playing Ana or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So he lost his Reaper, so this is already looking really grim. Yeah. 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 So like I want to be clear about something else too. I don't like, especially when we're doing a review, I don't like I don't like hanging, sort of like leaning on the excuse of, well, my team is a bunch of idiots. That's right. Right. It's like you don't have control over whether your team is a bunch of idiots. I think it's a useless thing to talk about whether your team is a bunch of idiots. What could you do to maximize your chance of winning? And like, I and like, I and sometimes winning and surviving are not the same thing. It's like, what is your best chance of winning? And and I think that he's like playing conservatively and valuing his life, which is good in principle. Like, but I think there's quite a few cases throughout this match so far where his survival and winning are not the same thing, and that he needs to look to of for ways to play around his team a bit more and like make these team fights more of like a group effort, even if um, even if it's a lost cause. Like if at the end of the game, when the defeat splash throws up on the screen, and like if it was pointless, then okay, you can admit to yourself that at that point it was pointless. But like I'm putting myself in his shoes right now. If in the middle of the game, you know, in the middle of the game, it's not a foregone conclusion. You got to keep your PMA. You got to believe it's still winnable. If it's still winnable, you got to be looking for ways to optimize your chance of winning. And I always think that the best option is to just look for a way to play around your teammates. And most of them seem to be playing quite a bit further forward than he is. Mm. Yeah. I I would say that's an assessment you can make after the fact, and like maybe he can make a call and say, "Hey guys, can we play around the points and I'll drop Bongo?" But like, did he make that call? Yeah, yeah. So like, if you're not making the call to try and rally your teammates, then play around them. Like, like I don't think that uh, I don't think thinking for yourself and just thinking that your teammates will magically and telepathically understand what you're trying to do is going to be an effective way to win a fight. That was a really great halt. Yeah, he seems actually quite good on Arista. He seems quite comfortable with her. Like he's using her cooldowns quite well. That was a good alt usage. Like his halts his halts are really quite good. Like he's better on Orisa than I am. you know, um, I think he's micro wise he's playing quite well. I just think he should be thinking about how to play around his team a bit better. And like say only two or three of them are in comms, and maybe only two of them listen to you. Well, that's two more people listening to you and trying to play around you than are right now, right? Yeah, yeah. So at this point, you can sort of assess. So at this point, because the round is over, you can assess that yeah, his team was a bunch of like hero played yahoos, and the enemy team did nothing but just trickle in like a bunch of hero play yahoos. After the fact, yeah, after the fact, now you can say yeah, everyone else in the game was a bunch of fucking yahoos. Um, but like when you're in the moment, you got to be looking for the way to get the team to play around each other, and that includes you. Yeah, yeah. See, at this point now, he's kind of the odd man out. So yeah, yeah. Like even Moira can kind of dive. Like I mean, it's kind of monk ass without a Lucio, but it's doable. Like I don't know. At this point, it's like with the Orisa, it's kind of like yeah, you're even if you try your hardest, it's going to be so hard to play around your team. You know? Yeah, yeah. So like yeah, so that line of thinking I think is a bit flawed in solo queue, especially in the lower elos, because like that line of thinking is basically assuming that it's okay to play in a split comp, and I don't think that split comps work all that often in solo queue, because I think that's just another way to get trickled and split up and lose the fight. All yeah, even fights so far because his monkey shifted like a noob. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's a good shield usage, putting it up in a spot where yeah, yeah. Using natural cover well when your shield's down, that's good. He's he's uh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Like like I don't expect him to have pro level reactions. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he can get flanked to kind of easily. I would at this point I would be trying to move up and try and use and try and choke them, because where he is ceding high ground to the enemy team. You know, so like this is again where I'm getting the vibe that he's very very conservative with his positioning, and I think he could stand, especially with his team all pushed up like that. Like, go ahead, get aggressive. Like this is the perfect time. Yeah, this is a perfect time to get aggressive. It's a really quick just to press S and get back to the point to hold it down. Like get up there, play with your team. Yeah, yeah, and tossing a shield in front of him, and tossing the shield in front of his team, so his entire team gets value out of that shield. There, like he's too far back. Yeah, yeah, and see now he's lost two more, and like yeah, maybe they were playing like idiots, or maybe he could have turned the tide. Like from this angle, I can't even tell. You know. Okay. Okay. But so here's what it looked like from my perspective, though. Okay, they lost that fight up forward. Maybe they lost it because they were playing like idiots. Maybe they lost it because it was a 5v6. The Zen had time to fall back to where he is because the Zen just killed the Rhine. The Zen was up there. Now he's back here. The Zen had time to fall back. That means he would have had time to fall back. Yeah. So like I'm adamant that he should be more aggressive with his positioning, play around his team more. Like just because they look like they're being over aggressive doesn't mean that you have an excuse to allow yourself to be split off. Uh, oof. Yeah, this is a scrappy fight, but yeah. Yeah, it looks like looks like they have a Brig who just popped rally. That's weird. I didn't even know they had a Brig. Or not rally, but Cookie, because I don't think she would have had time to build rally. So Zen just went over to the left. That's an easy kill. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Zen. Yeah, the monkey picked it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But so like this is basically one at this point. So now that it's one, like push forward. Push forward. No, don't put the shield on the point. Push forward. You can always fall back. Always fall back. Yeah. Yeah. Like yeah. Play with your team. Play with Play with your team. You can always fall back. This is way too conservative. See, like, I know it sounds harsh, but like, it. I personally believe that if a teammate dies farther forward and you could have moved up and saved them, I usually tell myself I could have saved that teammate, so it's my fault they died. Now maybe that's not always true, but like it does sort of get me in this mentality of like it's on me to play around my team, right? Yeah, 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 yeah. And in placements, that's going to have an even bigger impact. Like the SR loss in game, like I think there's some weird multipliers that happen. So it could be more than plus 20, plus or minus 20. No, no, I would say definitely not. Yeah. Um, his Orisa is he has really good instincts with his Orisa and he seems comfortable with the hero. I'm actually impressed with on how well he seems to know and play the hero. Um, but yeah, just overall, I think he really needs to work on his positioning. I think that's the big takeaway that I'd like him to focus on his positioning a lot more. Yeah. 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 Well, it's context based, right? Like there are no hard and fast rules. Like um I think in a scrim or in in a more organized type environment like a higher elo, maybe his positioning would have been better. But I think in a gold solo queue environment, um, I think you have to make the effort to play around your team, even if they're being dumb. And the idea of playing around your team, no matter what, that's something that even GMs will practice. Like that's it's not a principle that's ever going to go away for you. It's just the little nuance of how you play around your team is going to change as you go higher in Elo. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. 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 Although at the same time, though, if you support them and you play around them, you may get an endorsement from all three of them, right? Because they might be saying, "Oh, one of them just says, hey, this guy's helping me out. Like he's there, Johnny on the spot." You know, then all of them, then the rest of them, the other two are like, "Oh yeah, I guess he's a good guy. He's a good player, right?" Like you may think you may leave the game and say, "Yeah, those guys are idiots. That positioning, that was shit. That was dumpster fire right there." But but you took something that was suboptimal and you made it as optimal as you could because you can't change their positioning. Like you can ask them to play a little more defensively, but if they say no, it's like, well, then you have to try and make lemonade out of lemons. You know, yeah, hmm, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I've noticed in once you get below low plat, or sorry, below high plat, there's a lot of my precious hero syndrome. Where it's like they don't really care like what other people are playing or how they're playing. They just want to play the heroes they want to play. Yeah, 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 yeah. You're creating space. You're creating space through damage. That is one way you can look at McCree. Like it, you know, like it. Some people sort of look at like the support structure of the team as linear. You know, like support the tanks, and then the tanks support the damage, and then the damage just kills the other team. They sort of look at it as linear that way. I like to look at it as it's kind of like a circular sort of triangular web where everyone supports each other. You know, so like tanks, they create space for everyone else, but they need heals and peels from everyone else. The DPS, they need the space from the tanks and the healing from the supports, but they can create space for the rest of the team by peeling and using damage pressure, right, to create space. And then the supports, they keep people alive and use their utility to augment the other team or create an opportunity. So it everyone supports each other, and that's Overwatch at its best. And you're going to see very little of that in Gold, but when it happens, you're just going to stomp, right? Yeah, 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 yeah. Although I would like to boil it down to, you know, one or two uh, salient overall points to focus on his next games, and like what are the 2 points that I think he would get the most value out of in his next games is one, work on like watch your positioning and try and focus on positioning yourself to support your team, um, and the other is uh, be aware of when when a fight is lost, and when a fight is lost, go for the reset, group up, try and take the team with a fighter with as a 6-man team. So I would say um, those are the 2 points I would try and encourage him to focus on the most. Really, really hard in Gold to do that because everyone's playing their own game. They're playing it like Call of Duty. But I do think that is a big difference, Golds and Plats. I think Plats are quite a bit better at grouping up and sticking together and realizing when it's reset time, and positioning themselves such that they support each other better, even if they're not necessarily thinking in those terms. I think if you work on those things, that will get you from the gold to plat. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah. I hope I hope I didn't come off as too too harsh. It's just I really felt strongly that about those points, that I think he could improve if he worked on those things. I just wanted to drive them across emphatically and such to get across the point that I think they're important. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, yeah.